Hi everyone, I'm Andrew. In this episode, we're diving deeper into my e-bike project. You might remember from the first episode that one of the motor bearings needed replacing, and of course, is the hardest one to reach. Let's see how things turned out. Here's a little spoiler for you. I cracked the original Bafang motor, but don't worry, I found a workaround. I bought a very rusty and beyond repair e-bike for 15 euros just for the motor. I still want to show you what I did right and where things went wrong. It all started well. I unmounted the wheel thinking I'd be back on in no time with new bearings. The motor even has an unusual 6-wire Juliet connector. After taking off the nuts and washers with a 15mm wrench and forgetting to unlock the V-brake, but it came out easily anyway, I noticed the broken seal that caused all the bearing damage. So I put the bike in its house to get to work. I started by cleaning up. It wasn't a waste because I ended up reusing the tire and rim. For the cleanup, I used a powerful active foam cleaner called Keno Lux Grill. It's super satisfying to watch all the dirt come off, and you can find this stuff in the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany and France. I cleaned the silicone around the wire, thinking the wire would need to move. Turns out, not the case. I removed the 6 screws, and as I pulled off the main cover, you can hear the broken bearing's rough sound compared to the cover's bearing. The cover came off fairly easy, and the crown gear inside actually looked great. After applying some rust remover, I screwed the nut back on to protect the axle when I tapped it. At this point, things looked solid, except for that broken bearing, which was still stuck. With no room for a bearing extractor, I gave it a gentle push with 2 screwdrivers and that got the bearing moving. Here's where I went off track. I couldn't see how the bearing would clear the cable, so I assumed there must be another way. I noticed a retaining ring under the bearing, which I thought was holding the axle from slipping into the motor. My idea was that if I removed this ring, I could pull the coil and the axle out, unsolder the wires and safely remove the bearing. But, as you'll see, my assumption was way off. I also removed the planetary assembly and checked every bearing. The only damaged one was of course the one with the cable. Confident in my plan, I put it on the hydraulic press to pop out the axle, and well, that's when I cracked the housing. After cracking the motor, I decided to give it one more try. At this point, I assumed pulling the bearing out would destroy the cable, but I didn't care anymore. I just wanted to see what would happen, and to my surprise, the bearing actually came out with just a little force on the cable. I was like, what? It turns out that was the correct way all along. If I had known this earlier, I could have avoided cracking the motor entirely. A hard lesson learned, but one I won't forget. So that's where things stand. Lesson learned, a motor cracked, and a new plan in motion. Here's a quick recap of what I spent on this budget-friendly e-bike build. The bike itself was 30 euros. I picked up a broken battery for its housing for 10 euros. I also bought a very rusty broken e-bike for 15 euros, mainly to salvage the motor. Unfortunately, iCloud won't let me download the presentation video, but I have the footage of unmounting it, so I can show you what parts I was able to save. For epoxy, I bought two types from AliExpress. A black one for 4 euros and 69, using less than a quarter, and a transparent one with 14 euros 02, with almost all of it left. Even with some technical setbacks, we are keeping the costs low and we are moving forward. If you are enjoying this journey, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next steps. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.